What's good, y'all? I finally was able to gather my thoughts, and I just wanted to speak on what happened earlier. And honestly, it's really not our issue as like minorities and black people, but it's the issue is that the lack of respect they have for us. The fact that they let thousands of white people bombard the White House like that is ridiculous. It's unimaginable as a black person that I would be allowed, or any of us would be allowed to do this. And that's the thing that's the whole issue. Is like if you're a minority person and you try to do some shit like that, you would have got shot just walking to the gate probably, or trying to just run towards the gate. They would have probably shot you on sight. You know, and like I was seeing the article about the story about Miriam Carey. I believe that was her name. It was like in 2013 when she had the issue when she was trying to drive away from the White House or whatever, and they shot into her car 26 times with a baby in the back seat. 26 times they shot in her car with a baby in the back seat for one woman. But mind you, it was thousands of people who attacked the White House today, and only one woman was shot by one gunshot. I only saw one gunshot. If it was more than that, let me know. But I saw one gunshot, one woman get shot. That was it. But this is from thousands, so one out of thousands of people got shot. But one black went per people who was at the White House got shot at 26 times. And that's the whole problem. It's the lack of value and respect for a black and minorities' life. It's like they don't value our lives. They don't. They don't respect us. They don't value our lives. And that's the whole thing. We just want respect. Like the bare minimum you can do is respect and value somebody's life. Like even if you don't like them as a person, they race, whatever, respect their life, and that's it. Respect their life. And we can't even get the bare minimum respect for just our life. Our life isn't valued. It's always a reason why they try to justify reasons on why we get killed and why our life isn't valued. And so you have a kid like a Tamir Rice or a Trayvon Martin. They're literally kids and teenagers, and they find reasons on why they deserve to die. Like if that was a white person, they would not be trying to justify why their kid got shot because they can relate to them, and they would never try to find a reason why a young person, a teenager or a child would have got shot or killed by the police. It would be an uproar if that happened. And that's my whole thing, is that why can't you just give that same level of respect for a black or minority person? It's just to acknowledge their lives and acknowledge, what if that was my child? It's like they can't process that being their child just because we are of a different skin complexion or we have a different appearance than them. And it's just like, I don't understand why. Because most black people have empathy when something happens to a white child. So why can't you have the same empathy for our children or for our people when something happens? It's just a lack of respect and humanity. And it's just frustrating to realize, like, what it is in society, like what's going on in society, that they just don't respect us. And it just hurts, man. It's just like, give us some respect. And that's my whole thing. And the most important thing to me is respect and integrity. And like, what you stand on, what do you stand on, and what do you stand behind? And just respecting people. I give you respect until you show me otherwise. Why can't you do the same thing? White people feel like they don't respect you until you have to prove to them you're worthy of their respect. And sometimes they still won't respect you, even if you garnered the accreditations, or the accolades to be respected. Some of them still try to find reasons not to respect you. And it's like, why? Like, why can't you just respect me as a human being? And it's just so frustrating, man. And the fact that you have issues like a Breonna Taylor, where they literally break in her house and shoot up her house and shoot up her. And the property was more valuable than her in her life. And it's just the fact that they gotta have such a higher level of respect for white people than they do for minorities. And like somebody mentioned that because I was watching some videos and kind of, trying to get some other views on it. Somebody mentioned that, when you're a minority in a country, you're not going to get treated the same as, the majority, whoever's the majority in society. And that makes sense to a degree, and I can understand that. But my thing is, like I said, though, it's just the lack of respect. Like, even if we not on even, like, you're not going to view me the same because we're kind of different, whatever. Just the respect for my life and, treating me like a human. You know what I mean? That's my main thing. It's like, yeah, we can have our differences. It might be, a little harder to relate, whatever. That's another whole nother thing. But just respect and value my life. That's my only thing. It's like, why can't you value my life? The fact that you got to be scared and in fear of your life if you get pulled over because you don't know what type of police officer you about to deal with for a traffic stop. All right, you don't know if somebody's going to literally barge in your house and shoot you and, you're not even considered the victim in the situation. And it's things like that. It's like the lack of value for human life is my whole issue. It's like, where's the humanity? You know what I mean? And I just had to reflect on it, think on it, get some other views on it. And this is a conclusion I just came to. And we really have to work together to have unity. And my whole thing is that we have to stop trying to find ways to divide each other, whether it's through politics, whether you're Democrat, Republican, whether it's through race, whether you black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, Native American, whatever. We all have to come together in unity. And if we all have the same mindsets, like, yeah, because that's the thing. A lot of people will be like, yeah, that's fucked up, or yeah, this is messed up, yeah, But a lot of people don't do anything. They'll acknowledge it's messed up, but they really don't even speak on it. Like, I can count on probably one or two hands how many people I can really have a full, in-depth conversation with about what's going on in society and what's really messed up. Because most people are really only going to have surface level conversations about the issues going on. And it's like, we have to get beyond surface level conversation. We need to have in-depth conversation. Like, the first problem is stop watching so much TV and start reading and learning things, and that's the main problem. People just accept what's going on, they settle for what's going on, and they'll just go home every day, watch 4 or 5 hours of TV when they get off, and wake up the next day, go back to work, and they working for these big corporations, these white companies and all this, and then they'll just be like, man, that's messed up. That's the whole problem. And so, we have to build for ourselves, grow our own wealth, and be self-reliant to the point where we don't have to rely on a job. They can't treat us any kind of way. Cause it's like, look, if you gonna treat us like this, we gonna stop all of our people not gonna work for your companies. We not gonna support your businesses. We only gonna support our own business. We only gonna support our own companies and brands and things like that. And so if we all pull together and work together for one goal, we can hands down achieve that, because minorities as a whole are the majority of America. So if we all work together and had an agenda that we wanted how we wanted Americans to treat us and how we wanted society to move forward, we could really do that. Now, granted, I do not have all the answers. I don't even know how to fully go about doing this. But I just have ideas of how to start pushing forward and moving forward into that direction to help, create a change. Kind of like Tupac said, I might not be the one that create the change, but I at least want to help try to spark that change, to happen. And so I'm just giving out ideas, giving my opinion, my views, let me know what y'all think. We can have a discussion. We could, try to do an Instagram I don't know, live or like a clubhouse discussion or a Zoom or something, we can legit have discussions and talk about things, because I want to try to move forward as a society and progress. And I want to see my people succeed because, black and Latino people, we are the lowest on the totem pole as far as, value, how they value our lives, the wealth gap. Like, we are just put at the bottom. And I want to see minority people in general succeed. I want to see everyone succeed. Anybody who's in poverty, I want you to, learn the things that they don't want to teach us about growing wealth and building wealth and becoming better. And so I want to, help push that agenda that all of us succeed in life and learn those things they don't want us to know about building wealth and being self-sufficient and, being able to retire like 35, 40 years old, not having to work to 60, 70 years old, and are working to the day you die because you don't have enough money saved to take care of yourself. I want everyone to be self-reliant to the point where once you get older, like I don't respect this company. I don't respect what they stand for. I can quit my job versus I hate this job, but I have to work here because I have no other choice, and this is the best situation for me. Nah, I don't want that to be for nobody moving forward. And so, kind of like Dr. Boyce was saying, was that you know, this might not even sadly, this might not even happen in our generation, but we can push the envelope moving forward for our children or our grandchildren, just like he was saying Marcus Garvey, had, or Malcolm X, all of them, they have forward thinking ideas, and now those ideas, we look at them as like, wow, they were prophetic, they were, ahead of their time, they really were for forward thinking. And the thing is that like most of the people back then didn't support them. They damn sure didn't support Malcolm X, and they didn't like Martin Luther King when he was alive. And so they appreciate them once they died, and they couldn't talk anymore. And so you have to reflect and realize that it's like you have to keep being forward thinking because they don't want us being forward thinking. That's not going to push society ahead, and it's not going to make the community better. Granted, things can be worse in our society, but they can also be a lot better. And I want to keep pushing for society to be better. And I don't want to settle and be like, well, it is what it is, or, here in this country they doing this or that. It's like, no, let's keep progressing and be a company, be a country like I'm very interested in like Sweden and Denmark, those type of societies where you really don't hear anything about them bad or negative, and they're one of the, the most I guess peaceful, and not, you don't really hear too many issues about those. And granted, I'm not saying they have the best societies, but I'm very interested in figuring out what are they doing that's keeping them from so much violence and issues, So these are just my thoughts. That's my thought for today. And I just want to give you my perspective. I want to think on it, and I want to give you my views on what I thought about what happened today. And like I said, I don't think it's our issues, but I do think the core problem that most people had was that the lack of respect for our lives, and how much more they valued their lives, and they didn't want to do anything to harm these white people, because they looked at them as equals, because they look at them as, relatable, just because of their skin tone. And the sad part is kids don't even know what race they are until we teach them these things. Most kids, there's videos of kids who literally thinks they're exactly the same and nothing's different until we teach them as they grow up. So keep that in mind also. We're taught all these things. So just keep learning, keep feeding yourself with knowledge, and y'all be great, man. That's my time is up, but y'all be great. And if y'all want me to post some more videos or any specific topics, let me know. And that's the whole reason I created this brand right here, is to support our people. It's Sue Me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black. I'm just rooting for those who don't feel represented, who don't feel supported, and don't feel spoken for. I'm trying to be a voice for those people and help, build something. So y'all be easy, one love, be great.